welcome to tonight's Wednesday webinar on exploring careers. We do have some resources available on our website, and they are shown on the screen in front of you. We have two different versions of our Countdown to Future calendar. One is for freshmen and sophomore, and the other is for juniors and seniors. And these are great calendars to utilize for month-by-month guides of about 5 or so items to check off each month to help you on your career and college planning. We also have the Career and College Planning Guide. These again are available on our website at icansucceed.org/materials. This guide provides all the information regarding to tonight's presentation, as well as additional information about the process of finding careers and planning for your future. At ICANN, we have a lot of various services available to students and families all about the career and college going process. We help students with career explorations all the way through helping with college selection, applications, scholarships, as well as the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid, and discussing student loan potential options or having students understand their various options. So tonight, like I said, we are going to talk about exploring careers. And it is important to plan, as that is a lot of thought goes into your future. It's not simply I'm going to college or I'm going to work here. It takes a lot of research and planning and many steps along the way to get to where you want. So tonight we are going to talk about the different steps you should take and to find yourself in a successful career. So the first up then is goal setting. So goal setting is important to plan for your future career as well as your education plans. You should do this with the help of others as well to help that, so they can help you along the way with the brainstorming and the process. You want to, when setting goals, to look at the long-term goals and whether you need to build certain skills, learn more in a certain subject area or topic, gain certain experiences in certain areas, or create a financial plan between now and your career in order to get you to where you want to go. Not planning ahead can lead to extra time and money out of your pocket or more debt in student loans. So when you're going through this, you can just kind of make a little table as shown here on the screen in front of you about what is your goal, and then writing down the actual steps that you need to do to reach that goal. And these can be big steps and or little steps there. So really then what it comes down to is getting paid, how to get to that career you want. So really when it comes to getting paid, we're looking at the various education and training needed to get to where you want to go. No matter what type of career you're going into, the matter of the fact is you are probably going to have some form of post-secondary education and training. This can be a wide variety of various education and training, as you can see on the screen in front of you. There are degree programs that are 4-year or more years. There's career technical programs in a community college or a technical school. There are degree or diploma or certificate programs, which are 6 to 9 month programs. There's military options, union apprenticeships, on-the-job training, and self-employment in the form of starting your own business. So why is it important, and why is education a big component in reaching your future? Well, let's just take minimum wage, for example. Right now, minimum wage is $7.25. So if you work 8 hours a day, that's $58 a day you earn. Over a week, those 5 days in the week that you're working, that's $290 per week. So if you take that then for the whole 52 years, you're making about $15,000 for 1 year's worth of work. And this is minimum wage, which is, so if you graduate right out of high school, you can potentially be making this job without any additional career education or training. So, okay, let's say you're making more than minimum wage. You get $10 an hour. Well, again, 8 hours a day would be $80. For the whole week, you'd make about $400. And for the whole year, you'd have $20,800. So what does that mean? Well, if you look then at the national poverty lines, how does that help you from making a minimum wage job or a 10-hour job? Can you live comfortably and support your family on the income you're making with just that minimum wage or $10 an hour job? If it's just you, $11,000 is considered the poverty line. But if you look up more people, you might not be able to live comfortably and support yourself and or family living on just that minimum wage job. So what it comes down to is no matter what group you fit into, employers today want the same thing in their entry-level employees that colleges admissions recruiters want. So no matter what you think you're going to do after high school, you need to prepare. The other fact to face is that a high school diploma may be enough to get you a job, but it may not get you a promotion down the road. A promotion many times requires additional education or training. In addition, both college professors and employers agree, saying that about 4 out of 5 high school graduates are not ready for college or employment. This means you need to work hard now in high school to become the best possible candidate and prepare yourself for what lies ahead. So you can ask yourself, is the education and training worth it? On average, the average high school graduate can make a maximum of $37,000. Getting an associate's degree, you're now looking at maybe making $53,000. An average salary of a registered apprenticeship program is $60,000, and a bachelor's degree is on average $74,000 by earning that bachelor's degree. So how do you figure out what you want to do? How do you explore those various careers? Well, the number one way is through career assessments. These assessments are a series of short questions that help determine your career pathway fits your personality and your interests. These assessments help identify your strengths and your interests. They match your results to career pathways or to industries. They link pathways to specific careers and salaries. They link careers to education and training requirements. And those education requirements that lead to potential majors or career training programs. And they can help narrow down your options to those that fit you. So in essence, these career assessments are a great starting tool to find the career as well as the major and potential colleges needed to pursue those areas. These career assessments are often based in Holland's theory of career choice. His theory states that you, the individual, has a personality type, and there are careers or majors out there, and all of those careers and majors have a compatible work environment. But there is an intersection where you and that career environment match. And when you find that career that meets in the middle at that match section, this leads to greater success and satisfaction with work, and sometimes often in life. Sometimes when you take these interest inventories, various personality types or interest inventories, you might have your results come out in Holland personality types. And these personality types are sometimes referred to as RIASAC, meaning that they're realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Some of the descriptions for each of these categories or these types: a realistic person is a hands-on doing person. An investigative is a problem solver. The artistic is a very creative person. The social is personality type is a people person. The enterprising personality type is that persuader or that leader. And the conventional is that organizer. So sometimes you can already identify yourself with just some of those descriptions. Often when you do take these career assessments, your results will come into career clusters. These career clusters are organized into 6 clusters, and all of the 16 pathways that Iowa and many of the other country represents, there's 16 career pathways, can be clustered into these 6 overarching clusters. So when you get these career clusters, or you know these various career clusters, you can start using your high school courses and experiences to explore and rule out careers and majors that don't fit you. You can also start using this to figure out what does fit you. It's just as important to figure out what does work and fit for you as a career as those that don't work for you in a career. It is always recommended to take these career assessments at least once a year. And that is because interests change. And it's a great way to figure out if your interests have changed and if there's careers that better fit you. It can also be used as a tool to help create and update your 4-year plans, which we are going to talk about more in depth here later tonight. So these 6 overarching career clusters are ag, food, natural sciences, applied science, technology, engineering, and math, business, finance, marketing, and management, health sciences, human services, and information systems. Again, all the 16 major career pathways can fit into these 6 overarching career clusters. So at ICANN, we utilize career assessments with students and families when we are working with them. We utilize what are called My ACT plans. This was previously the ACT profile. These are a series of 3 short assessments that provide details on career pathways and potential majors that fit your skills and interests. Again, at ICANN, we can have advisors work with you to walk through the process of these assessments and get personalized planning for you after high school. You can visit our website, icansucceed.org/advising, for a list of our services. And if you would like to have an appointment with one of our advisors, you can visit our website at icansucceed.org/APT to set up an advising session. We do offer these virtually via Zoom as well as in person. So a little more about the ACT My Plans. So like I mentioned, there are 3 assessments. So the first one is interest. So these are really this assessment discovers the majors and occupations that fit your interests. You will have a series of questions that they will ask you if you like, dislike, or are indifferent about a topic. It's important that you answer these as quickly as possible with the first thing that pops into your mind, if you like it or not. The next assessment available through the ACT plans is the abilities survey. So this is where they are going to ask you a question, and you are going to rate yourself from low, below average, average, above average, and high on how well you believe that you accomplished that or can meet that skill. So this first example on the screen is communication. Using words to describe people, places, events, ideas, or feelings. Consider your ability to write interesting messages or emails, tell stories or speak to a class or group, and prepare reports, essays, or articles. Consider your language arts, your journalism, speech type classes. So information, how would you rate yourself? Would you say that you are in the lower 10% in terms of having that ability, or are you in the upper 10% or somewhere in between? And then the last inventory that my ACT plans utilizes is called values. So these are going to assess your values within the workplace. So working in an office setting most of the time. Do you think that is important? Do you want that on the job, or do you not want that on the job? And you can go through and assess all of those values. There's 22 of them, on how well you want them in the job or how important they are for you to have on the job. So once you've gone through all of those 3 assessments, you will get your results into what is called a career map. ACT organizes them into a career map, and as you can see on the outer part of the circle are all of those 6 major clusters. You will have dots within that map. Some of them will be gray, some of them will be red, and some of them will be blue. The gray ones mean that you did not match those career areas. So those you should not even pay attention to. Blue identifies that at least one of your 3 assessments matched that career. And then the red are if you took more than one assessment. The reds mean that multiple, whether it's 2 or 3 of those assessments, meet that career or matched to that career. So once you click on one, you can click on these and it'll pop up with the careers that are in that area for you. You can then get additional information about that career, as well as the education required, the salaries, and even potential majors and where those careers are available, or those majors and what colleges they're available. My ACT Plans utilizes a major map as well. So again, these assessments can help align to various majors. And the ones that match you are going to be highlighted for you in your major map. You can then see which colleges throughout the country have those various majors available for you to pursue. Then you can also look at the salaries and then how much it would cost to pursue an education in that field with the college that you've chosen. So when going through and looking at majors and colleges, there are many careers that need high-skilled workers for high-paying jobs that do not require a traditional college degree as well. Apprenticeships and job training are opportunities that provide specific career and industry training. These opportunities come in a variety of formats, from on-the-job training programs to career-focused certificate and degree programs at community colleges or technical centers. Depending on the industry, a student could acquire the needed skills alongside a professional through a union or company training program. They can become certified through a 9-month, year, or even 2-year program at a community college, or doing a combination of apprenticeship training and classes. Some companies even pay for college coursework and offer simultaneous training and paid work programs to students. So in Iowa specifically, we are ranked for our animal health and research, or A. We are second nationally for our wind energy installation, and we're a leader in the finance and insurance industries, as well as healthcare is a fast-growing industry. So these are some examples of those areas where you might not need a 4-year degree. You could accomplish them through various education programs. Another one is manufacturing. 90% of Iowa's exports are from the advanced manufacturing section. And careers in advanced manufacturing are on the rise, with over 6,000 growing companies working in Iowa. Manufacturing pathways offer 96 career opportunities in various areas like production, manufacturing, production process development, maintenance, installation, repair, quality assurance, logistics and inventory, as well as health, safety, and environmental assurances. So how do you gain additional experiences if you are knowing what career you want to go through? One of the best ways is through your high school. So you can gain various experiences while in high school through your classes, your extracurricular activities, your volunteer work, your job shadows, your internships, or even part-time employment. So a little more about some of these hands-on experiences. Really, job shadows and internships. That's where we'll start. Job shadows is a time when you can spend a day or part of a day with a professional in a career of interest, and you get to kind of pick their brain and they share about their career and their day-to-day job duties. An internship is your ability to take a more in-depth look at a career. Internships can be paid or they can be not unpaid internships. And this is an opportunity for you really to work at a company in a career field that is of interest to you. This provides you that more in-depth because you will be spending many hours. Depending on the internship, you might spend 45 hours, 90 hours, 120 hours on the job working for that company and getting more in-depth experiences. To take advantage of job shadows or internships, It is important to work with your high school counselor, as they have the ability to set you up on these various job shadows and internships, or they can work with the Iowa Intermediary Network. So in Iowa, all high schools have access to what's called the Iowa Intermediary Network. And that is a network through usually your local community college, where the intermediaries can help set students up on various job shadows and internships. Another great way is to do volunteering. So you can do volunteering in your local community. You can also sometimes do volunteering virtually. There are many different formats now. Some great places to look would be at volunteeririowa.org or even volunteermatch.com. If you are a school that has silver cord hours, you might be able to find some additional service opportunities right within your community through your high school counselor as well. But volunteering is a great way for students to get hands-on experiences in various career fields. Sometimes students can't get hands-on, maybe work in a veterinarian's office if they really like animals, but they can definitely volunteer with their local humane society or shelters or rescues that are local and get some hands-on experiences working with animals. So that's a great volunteer opportunity. Then another opportunity is to join clubs within your high school. So joining clubs or organizations that are right in your high school around your areas of interest. So if you are really interested in the arts, joining your art club that you have, or even your drama or speech clubs that you have right within the walls of your high school. These give you great opportunities to get to know the industry that you're wanting to go into, and maybe some of the work that goes into it as well. So just a little brainstorming activity that you can think that you can do with your students or outside is, what careers do you want, and where could you potentially do a job shadow, and listing specific businesses that are in your community. So for example, if you are really interested in the legal area, looking at maybe do you have law offices in town that you could visit and job shadow, or a courthouse or a police station. If you're interested in marketing and sales, do you know of any ad agencies, design firms, or even a retail store to get some of that hands-on experience with? And maybe you have a career or a part-time job in some of these areas. Again, medicine, looking at your doctors, your dentists, or any vets in town. If you're interested in the economic statistics realm, looking at maybe an accountant or a research firm. If you're into the creative or artistics, going through any art galleries you have, studios, photography, design firms, and then computers and IT, any technology companies that you have, and listing out some of those specific companies where you could go and get those experiences from. So while you're in high school and you're gaining all these experiences, one great tool to keep track of all your involvement and your accomplishments is with an activities resume. This is a list of all your activities that you've done while in high school in grades 9 through 12. This is a great way to compile all this information, as later down the road when you become a senior, this will be very helpful for various scholarships and admissions applications for colleges, as many of these applications you will find will ask for this type of information on them, so you are able to submit this resume right along with it. So frequently, what do you include in these activities resume? Well, oftentimes you include your school information. For example, what high school you go to, your academic information like your GPA, class rank, any test scores, and then the activities, the clubs, sports, organizations, whether they were in school or out of school. With those, it's important to put the number of years you were in that activity, as well as the leadership in those activities, or what position you held, and how long you were in them, and what years in high school you were in them as well. You can also list any honors, awards, talents, or accomplishments that you've earned throughout high school. So for example, it could be an athlete of the year, it could be honor rolls, it could be that you were state qualifier or state champion, those types of things as well. and any other additional community service, volunteer work, or if you do have a part-time job, listing your part-time job on these resumes as well. So we've mentioned it a little bit before, but finding that career that matches you. So having that, what we like to refer to also is a right fit. So utilizing some various websites to help find the right fit to compare education and training programs to fit you best. So when we talk about right fit, we talk about the academic fit, that it has when you're looking at schools, that it has the major or the career fields that you're wanting to go into, but also academic fit in terms of you are able to be admissible to that university or college or program, but also maintain the high academic. Cultural fit, does it fit you socially? Is it a place where you can see yourself spending 1, 2, 3, 10, years in that place, with whether it's the location, the social life activities, all of that. And then financial fit, meaning can you afford to go to that college and pay the money to get the education? There are many different online resources. You can see 2 of them online is collegeraptor.com or chegg.com. Through these websites, you can get customized lists of college matches to start exploring your college options. When you go to, for example, College Raptor, you can put in your own personal information in terms of what careers you want to pursue. If you're wanting to have a certain type of college in terms of how big do you want it, what type of location, city, urban, as well as your academic information in terms of your GPA, your ACT or SAT scores, and then it'll put all that information together and give you matches for where you fit. And it'll tell you this is a good match. It's a reach school, meaning that it might be a little more difficult to potentially get in based on some of their admissions criteria, and so forth. So those are some great tools to utilize to find those right fit schools for you to match all around. Again, there are many options after high school for the career you want to pursue. You can go into the workforce, get a full-time job. You can, you might need to ensure that you have skills in communications and maybe math and science, as well as people skills and interview skills. You can go into a training career program. Again, they usually look at communication, math, and science. You can go through an apprenticeship program or the military. They sometimes have entrance exams that you might have to complete. For example, military is going to have boot camp and you're going to have a health test and a fit test. And then there's college, whether that's a 2 or 4-year school, and they are going to require admissions process along with financial aid, pricing as well. So there's many options after high school, but again, how to get to there, what you will need for those entrances can vary. So coming along then is your 4-year plan. Mentioned it a little bit before, but your 4-year plan is a great resource and tool to utilize when exploring careers. Your 4-year plan is an outline of classes to be taken each year of high school. Frequently, students in 8th grade will create an overall 4-year plan outlining their 4 years of high school. And then each year you get to revise that and pick your new classes for that next year. But it is always great to utilize that 4-year plan as that first initial and make modifications as you go. Having these 4-year plans is a great way to keep track of your plan and make sure that you're taking courses that fit who you are and what you need. Within your 4-year plan, it's important to include all of your high school graduation requirements. So making sure that you're referring to what you need to graduate to high school and including those in your plan. It's also important to make sure that you are looking at the college or the career education training program you're pursuing and making sure you're meeting all of their admission requirements. There are some colleges or programs that will require you to take certain courses in order to be admitted. So it is important to look at those admission requirements and making sure you're fitting those in high school in order to be admissible and be able to attend the college or program you're looking into. Another great use for those four-year plans is to make sure you're taking career classes that interest what you want to do. So there's many different career options that you might be able to take in high school. So it's important to make sure you're fitting those classes within your four-year plan. And it is always important to work with your high school counselor each year you're creating these plans and selecting your courses. Because oftentimes working with your high school counselor, they can help make sure you're on the right track with the various courses and might even be able to offer insights into the different admission requirements or the areas that you're pursuing and offering which classes to take. So some of those classes we definitely should take are core classes. These are usually graduation requirements at all high schools, but statistics also show that taking core classes, you are significantly more likely to be career and college ready. And that's because core classes provide you a solid foundation for career and college ready. Grades aren't always the most important or aren't always enough. The types of courses you take are also taken into consideration. And one of them is these core classes when looking into admissions. Admissions does like to see core classes and pays usually more attention to the core classes. If they're going to look at these classes you took and to see how well you did. You may have a 4-point, but if you took easy classes, you aren't going to be as impressive as a student who maybe has a 3.75 or a 3.5 and took harder classes that were more challenging. You also need to have a variety of courses that challenge you and prepare you for the college level coursework. Easy high school courses will make college level work more challenging. We're not saying don't take those easier, what students might deem as easy. Taking those electives are still important. It's just not what we should only take while in high school. And then also those core classes provide valued workforce skills as well. So core classes, some high schools also provide college credit. And so within those, you can also get potentially college credit opportunities. And elective courses are great courses to further explore different areas as well. So it's always important to include those elective courses. So how can you use this four-year plans when exploring your careers? By taking these various courses, you are getting the experience in the academic realm of what that career area will potentially study. By knowing the academics of that career, you can potentially rule out careers or majors that don't fit you. So, English might be required, but you might take additional electives like creative writing. And you might realize that, you do not like to do creative writing. So maybe you'll be able to realize that you don't want to be an author or a novelist and create or make up various stories. These career clusters can help also dictate what types of coursework you should potentially utilize in high school to pursue the potential careers you want. So an example, there's many different examples that are available, and I'm going to get to those here in just a couple of slides. But there's also many various education levels for each career cluster. So for just one example is the medical cluster. Within the medical cluster alone, you can pursue a certified nurse assistant career, which is 120 hours, so a very short-term program. You can go and become a surgical technician, which is a 2-year Associates of Applied Science degree. You can become a registered nurse with a BSN, which is a 4-year degree. You could be a physical therapist, which is a bachelor's 4-year degree, plus professional schooling, which is about 3 years. Or you can become a physician, which is a 4-year bachelor's degree, a 4-year med school, and then 3 to 8 years in residency. So in that one cluster alone, you can pursue all the different career pathways. So there are many options available to you. It just depends on how long you want to attend your post-secondary education in that to the career you want to pursue. So again, here's back to that 4-year plan with that career clusters. So while in high school, taking various courses to help you in that cluster. So sticking with the high school career cluster, if you know you want to pursue some of that upper level physical therapy, it's important to take things like chemistry and anatomy, since you need to know the overall body when you are utilizing physical therapy, and taking additional sciences and math, since many of the health careers require those various subjects. You also see on this sample 4-year plan, again, this is a sample, there are many different ones out there. You'll see psychology on here. And that is because psychology is a great elective for students to utilize when in the health field, since they might be encountering different people with different personalities. So having some of that psychology background can help when interacting with different people to understand their motives and their behaviors. You'll also see things like Intro to Computers on this one. Again, another great elective for students to utilize, because there are actually many medical programs or nursing programs out there that do require computer type program, since they do spend their days on a computer at times. So those are all different ways to help build your 4-year plans based on a career specific cluster, and utilizing those clusters to help build your 4-year plan. Getting in those required classes, getting in those core classes, and also putting in some of those elective experiences as well. So then we are going to talk about affordability, one of the last sections. And affordability really around being able to afford college. So when it comes to careers, those career assessments help identify areas of strength and potential careers. The next step is to begin researching those careers to identify the education expectations and the starting salary ranges. This information will help to inform what type of education or training you need to look at in attaining after high school. And really, your starting salary, why do we talk about that? Because your starting salary should determine your college budget. Once you know your potential starting income, you will know how much you can spend or borrow on your college education. And that money or that amount should be your starting salary. And there are various tools to utilize. One that we recommend is Iowa Student Loan or ISL Education. They do have a tool called the Rocky tool. So you can go on their website at studentloan.org/ROCI tool, and you can then start plugging and playing with what your starting salary is and how much education you're going to need. You can visit myact.org, the same place where you get those plans, and research the career starting salary information. It does have that published for all those careers, and you can choose specific states, so you can get the average starting salary within the specific state. So if a student's not wanting to stay in Iowa, they can say, I want to move to California, and they can get this average starting salary for those other states as well. So once you know your starting salary, it's important to understand those limits. Again, your starting salary should be the limit or the amount you should borrow. But when you are looking at college costs, they are going to be looking at 1 year at a time. So it is a good rule of thumb to use that starting salary for your entire educational career, not just 1 year. When you go into college and you get your financial aid packages, that price is for 1 year. It is not for the full year, whether it's 2-year program, 4-year, 6-year program. So over the whole year, you should use your starting salary. So for example, if you were to borrow $80,000, on average, that's going to be about $800 a month when you start paying those loans back. This would be about 1% if you keep your starting salary in mind for your maximum budget for all years of college education, would be about 1% of your monthly gross starting salary. So if you are expecting a starting salary of $35,000 and want to live comfortably after college, you should be totaling your maximum amount to borrow for your entire degree to be $35,000. Again, to be living comfortably, this will give you monthly payments of about $350 per month for those 10 years loan terms. So that does conclude tonight's presentation. Our website does offer a lot of various information. To get additional information, again, you can schedule an appointment with us right on our main page. Our resources that you can refer to that I mentioned with those calendars and the booklets are right up here in our resource library, right on our website. We do offer also alerts in the form of tips of the week videos, grade level alerts, or event alerts and reminders. So you can sign up for those as well right on our website. We are also on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. All of our past videos are on YouTube. We're also on Pinterest and X, but we're most active on Facebook and YouTube. So those are the best places to see all of our information. And again, all of our past presentations or videos that we offer are right on YouTube as well. Again, I hope you had a great night or have a great night, and we will see you at the next Wednesday webinar. Thanks and have a good day.